The mountains of El Salvador rise above the lush valleys and volcanic landscapes, creating one of the most unsurreal settings in Central America. Small villages dot the hillsides, coffee plantations cover the countryside, and the Pacific Ocean stretches along its southern coast. But during the late 20th century, this small country became the center of one of Latin America's most violent conflicts. Today on Wander Alwayz, we explore the Salvadoran Civil War, a conflict shaped by inequality, the Cold War rivalries, and a struggle for the future of an entire region. To understand this war, we must first understand El Salvador itself. For decades, a small group of wealthy landowners controlled much of the country's wealth and farmland. Meanwhile, ordinary El Salvadorians lived in poverty, working long hours with little opportunities to improve their lives. As frustration grew, so did demands for political and economic reform. However, attempts to challenge the existing system were often met with oppression and repression. Opposition groups, labor activists, students, and community leaders frequently faced intimidation and violence. By the late 1970s, tensions had reached a breaking point. At the same time, the Cold War was influencing events around the globe. The United States feared the spread of communism in Latin America, while left-wing revolutionary movements gained support in several countries. In El Salvador, multiple guerrilla nations united to form what is known as Fabundo Martí National Liberal Front, commonly known as the FMLN. In 1979, the country descended into a civil war. The conflict quickly became brutal. Government forces, supported by military aid from the United States, fought against this rebel group. Both sides sought control of territory and political influence, but civilians often found themselves caught in the middle. Villages suspected of supporting guerrillas became targets. Kidnappings and massacres became tragically now common. One of the most shocking events did, however, occur in 1981 at Mozote, where hundreds of civilians were killed during a military operation. The massacre became a symbol of the war's devastating human cost. Violence reached every corner of society. Journalists, human rights activists, and teachers often found themselves in danger. In 1980, the assassination of Archbishop Oscar Romero shocked the world. Romero had become a powerful voice for the poor and had openly criticized the violence and injustice brought about by this regime. His death highlighted the deep divisions tearing the country apart. As the war continued through the 1980s, thousands of Salvadorians fled their homes. Many sought refuge in neighboring countries or migrated to the United States in search of safety. Entire communities were displaced. Families were separated. The economy suffered, and fear became a part of everyday life. After more than a decade of fighting, neither side could achieve a decisive victory. Gradually, international pressure and growing exhaustion pushed both sides towards negotiation. In 1992, representatives of the Salvadorian government signed the Chapultepec Peace Accords in Mexico City. The war was finally over. The peace agreement transformed the FMLN from a guerrilla movement into a political party and introduced reforms designed to strengthen democracy and human rights within the region. By the end of the conflict, an estimated 75,000 people had lost their lives, while countless others carried emotional and physical scars. Today, El Salvador continues to grapple with the legacy of the Civil War. Yet, the story is not only one of conflict, it's also one of resilience. A story of communities rebuilding after tragedy, a nation striving to create a more peaceful future. As wanderers, understanding this conflict reminds us that history is often more complicated than the headlines. Behind every conflict are ordinary people whose lives were forever changed by forces beyond their control. The story of El Salvador is ultimately a story of struggle, survival, and enduring hope that even after years of division, peace will always remain possible. As always, thanks again for listening, and please, wander always, but please wander safely. Do not forget to like and subscribe.